right. Well, I do have something I'm particularly excited about.
Oh,
The renowned author Peter Chutney has announced that the reason he's such a good writer is because he's possessed by a demon named Tranthor the Fabulous.
that makes so much sense.
Right? Mr. Chutney, he grew up in the swamps of southern Driftwood, and his family had previously said that they thought he was illiterate until he randomly presented them with his first manuscript, which eventually became his debut novel, Gator Teeth. And of course, that was an instant bestseller. It was 2 decades ago. He's rolled out hit after hit since then, every single novel being a #1 bestseller. Well, now he's saying that he has been possessed by a demon since shortly before that first novel's release, and that he doesn't remember writing any of those books, which does explain why in all of his interviews he appears somewhat confused and surprised by most of the questions. There's a debate about whether this is true, of course, because he's currently promoting his new novel, Soul of the Swampland, which might include themes of possessions. So people don't know whether to believe him or not. He's always been quite eccentric, but he's a brilliant author, and now it's in question whether he's just eccentric or, in fact, possessed.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it? You think it's a stunt?
I think it's a stunt. So it's another publicity stunt by big books, which, as we all know, they have a big stronghold on this community. They'll do anything to get those
The
sales
literary
up.
barons of Driftwood are known for their dirty, dirty tactics.
Don't care for it.
You don't like it?
I don't think he's really
Even
possessed.
if it is marketing, you don't think it's fun?
Do you think devilry is fun? Is that fun to
people,
you,
the
Dirk?
horror movies and literature, horror.
They're hand in hand.
A lot of people like that kind of stuff, you
I
know. So if
don't-
you add a little world building, a little sort of guerrilla marketing realism to it, I don't know that this is entirely unbelievable, because he has always been an eccentric fellow. You see him in interviews. They ask him a question about his most recent book, and he looks completely taken aback, like he has no idea what they're talking about.
I do. I don't know if I'm misremembering it, but I'm pretty sure I watched him set fire to his own hand once.
That sounds like a possessed guy.
Feels
Bench.
possessed to me.
Yeah.
Like it
Is
feels
possessed or desperate?
Ooh,
I mean, you could.
shots
You could.
fired.
You could be both.
You could be both.
Possessed and desperate.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
sounds like the
wait,
name
wait.
of a great novel that he should write.
Sorry, are you saying that it could be that he is possessed by a demon and the demon is doing this as a publicity stunt?
Yeah, you could be a demon that's also desperate for
Layers.
a good sales
That could be.
number.
I could see that happening. Whether or not he is possessed, I think this is fully a stunt. This is a choice. It's a marketing choice.
So you think he could be possessed,
Mhm.
and they're just leaning into that for the marketing of this particular novel because maybe it helps with this particular novel, whereas it didn't
I think so.
help the sales of previous novels.
Hey, we're talking about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'd be talking about his novel no matter what it was, just because I love the workings of Peter Chutney. But
Yeah.
the fact that this is a little more juicy.
Yeah,
that's a
feel-
good point. It's a juicier.
I feel like Chutney didn't need the help. Like, I was going to read the next one.
It's a
Either
good point.
way, like,
At this point, he's been
beloved.
for decades.
Yeah.
He can-
Every airport is just filled with his books.
filled
Yeah.
with Chutney.
Yeah, you go into any bookstore and there's the Chutney section. Like,
Yeah,
it's a,
multiple shelves.
he either gets a table, the nice little table in the middle, or you get the shelves.
hmm
I mean, I don't know which one's better. I'm not a bookshop expert.
Sometimes
table
we'll
in the
go
middle.
and just covertly sign some of those books. So if you look through those books, you might find a signed Chutney.
Yeah.
You,
that he
you
didn't
know that he
expect.
might have signed it if the pages are sticky.
Yep, there's that Chutney stick.
I did once actually get a signed copy, and I bet maybe it was like, has he used the wrong hand for this? But I showed it to a few
Stunned.
people and was like, can you read what this inscription says? And the closest we can get, and we haven't proven this because obviously we'd have to like ask Peter Chutney himself, and you can't get near him. Like,
No,
so
very
difficult to get near him.
reclusive.
Yeah, we ask a ton of times for interviews here. Like, does he want to come on the air? Never
All
up
the
for
time.
it. So,
Standing invitation, Mr. Chutney, if you're
yeah.
listening.
Mr. Chutney, if you're listening, any time of day. We don't know what time of day it is now, but we will work that out before you get here. Okay, so we read it. And what we think it says is, beneath the sea lives the void where we will all go. Enjoy the book. It's very personal to me.
When
See,
you
now
say,
that sounds like some possessed guy
That feels
stuff.
possessed.
When
We
you
keep going
say-
back and forth on, but
that sounds like a writer. When you say we think that's what it says.
Yeah, like it was written really
Say-
badly. We were like trying to work out what the letters were. Some
Oh,
of
it's
them
like
weren't
a
much
doctor
letters.
writing.
maybe
Yeah.
he wrote it when he was in kind of a reverie and he wasn't really behind those eyes. You know what I mean?
He's a writer and he knows
What
that
is your
people
problem with
talk.
writers,
you just
Bench? You
hate
seem
them.
to
I don't
have
have a
a lot
problem
of
with-
strong opinions and judgments about the writing
You know,
community.
here's what
You
I'll
said it
say.
sounds like a writer.
Sounds like a
It's
typical
quite
writer.
eloquent. I mean, some of the curses and things of demons are quite eloquent, I
Yeah,
think, in
you
terms of the
saying-
way that they're articulated.
You saying demons couldn't be writers? Because I think demons could write whatever they
saying-
want to
Yeah,
write.
demons can be writers too.
You could
Bench.
put 1,000 demons with 1,000 typewriters and they will never write Shakespeare.
So you think Shakespeare is
Definitely not
Angel.
possessed.
godly?
Angel
And do
figure.
we have any
Don't-
proof Shakespeare wasn't possessed?
Do we have any proof that he
Over
was?
to you, Bench.
Can you prove a negative?
Can you prove he wasn't?
He
Yes.
had. You look into the themes
Yes.
of his work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty dark stuff.
Real sad.
I think it's all. He
Demons
wasn't.
love bears.
Listen,
Demons
Shakespeare.
love bears.
Shakespeare
Your
was the-
counter argument, Bench.
Shakespeare was the original comedy writer. All of those writings are very fun
Dark
and
comedy.
light.
Dark,
dark
comedy.
comedy.
Also, we saying that
Mhm.
Fun
demons
and
can't
light.
have a little fun time.
No, they don't like
yeah,
fun.
there's lots of murder, sex, betrayal,
Yeah.
all that stuff in Shakespeare.
And if I was going to trust anyone to write it well, demon, lives in
Yeah,
that
you don't want an
world.
angel writing that stuff. It's going to
No.
be super lame and
Very
watered down.
judgy.
Yeah.
I am so disappointed in you two. You're falling for bookaganda once again.
I'm
not
not-
everything's a conspiracy.
not
Some people
everything's a
can just be possessed.
Yeah. I'm not putting any judgments on this possession on whether or not it's a good or bad thing. I'm just accepting it
just-
as the art that it is. You seem to have an agenda here.
I just want to, so we can all hear ourselves. Not everything is a conspiracy. Some people are just possessed. Right? That's what we're saying
Yeah, that's
right
what
now.
we're saying.
Yeah. And
Do you guys hear yourselves?
so repeat it.
Not
I thought
every-
it was fine, but you seem to have a lot of issue with this. Say it again.
possession is not inherently a conspiracy to you guys.
Isn't possession like 9/10
2/3
of the law or something? So like, yeah.
I thought it was 2/3. You said
2/3,
9/10.
9/10.
I might have had the
Same
math
thing.
wrong. You're the math guy.
So he has more. So
What's 9/10 of 2/3?
9/10 of 2/3?
Yeah.
Impossible.
I wouldn't know. He's so good at math.
Impossible.
Yeah. I think you're being too quick to say no.
I look. Here's the thing, and I don't want to paint with a broad brush here about all writers, but most of them, not all of them.
Careful.
There's hey, there's very fine writers out there, but a lot of them are, drama queens. They just want the spotlight. That's all they care about.
I would argue the opposite. Writers, they're not putting themselves in front of the camera.
No.
They're behind the scenes. They're faceless in many and some
lot.
don't even have their faces. Some write under pen names that don't even have their actual names or photos anywhere.
A lot of times when we have writers on here to promote their books, they are shy, scared, timid little mice that sit in a corner, and we
Yeah.
really got to
Sometimes
coax the
it's an
words
act.
out of them
Sometimes
using
request-
small bits of cheese.
They request the isolation curtain, so we don't
Yeah.
even have to look at them. They
think
just
it's an
answer the
act.
questions.
That's an act.
I don't
I think
think
it's an
always
act.
I think
But it's
all an
happened
act.
multiple times with multiple authors.
Yeah, because they have a method.
Mr. Chutney, when he does interviews, he doesn't hide behind.
And that's why we're talking about him more.
Okay, maybe once or twice he has hidden behind the smoke screen.
That's true.
The purple smoke that he has created from his hands. But that I
That's
would
true.
say is not really like a hiding thing. That just happened. Oops, it just happened.
It's just part of
He
him.
apologized for it.
And I feel like that's more evidence for the possession.
yeah.
So you guys are
Well,
fully
he's not-
fully bought into the possession
I'm still
stuff.
weighing the evidence, but it seems like there's a lot of evidence for, and I'm not hearing a lot of evidence against other than you saying it's a conspiracy.
Have you ever
Hit me
met
with
a
that
demon?
again, Penny?
Hmm.
Have you ever met a demon?
Counterpoint.
Have you ever met a demon?
Have I ever met a demon?
Yeah.
Probably, but I wouldn't know, would I?
Yeah. You're telling me we were going to
I
like...
assume at some point I would have crossed paths with a demon.
Okay.
But if they would...
if I was to place a bet on any one of the three of us having crossed paths with a demon at some point in Dirk's backstory, there is gonna be he
Do you
approached a
think?
crossroads and he got made an offer.
Do you think?
110%.
I have met lots of old men and women
so many times
in the fog
Yeah, you wrote
of
such a...
either my mind or
Yeah.
the streets.
Remember that time you wrote that beautiful song? Like you went on a walk through the
memory of
woods
that. No
and you
memory
came
of it.
back and you were like, I just got this inspiration for this beautiful song after
'cause
meeting a wizened old woman.
Dirk
Yeah.
is talented.
It's like it planted
Don't
in my
take
head.
that away
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say, I don't want to.
I'm really, now that you've complimented me in that way, I am pulled
Look,
to agree with you more.
I don't want to bring up old business, but the other day you guys were giving me so much shit for assuming that some people might be liquid metal. And now we're just like, okay with people might be demons.
It's not the same thing.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, metal is real.
Also, if demons lead to brilliant works of Peter Chutney, I'm okay with
yeah,
it.
fine with it.
I
AI
can't
and
argue
liquid
with that
metal could
necessarily.
bring about the downfall of society at large.
The
Different.
second book in the Swiss...
But demons won't.
Oh my God.
No,
Sorry.
they're just making great art.
The second book in the Swiss Man trilogy
Beautiful.
was... Oh, like the twist.
Masterpiece.
The surprise twist. When it turned out he was not a Swiss man. He was actually
Never
French.
saw it coming.
Didn't see it coming.
I took it at face
if
value.
The Netherworld created that. Wow. Give me more.
Please inject it into my veins.
Yeah.
Come get me, Netherworld.
Yeah.
If I can live in that mindset.
A page turner. The
Look.
turn of the page.
Oh, Penny
Me
is just
turning the pages.
on a roll.
3 more.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about gator teeth, Penny?
Stunning.
And the book?
Stunning.
Stunning.
What do you think about Peter Chutney himself and his wardrobe? He usually wears a lot of like robes and things. And lately he's been dyeing his hair different colors. And I think that's very cool and
I
artsy.
thought that was cool. And also the fact it wasn't just like one color. Like sometimes it's as if each individual strand has its own color.
Sometimes it feels like over the course of like the interview or whatever he's doing, the colors change.
Yeah. But sometimes it's
I'm
like,
a magical man.
sometimes I wonder, is it me that's changing? Because sometimes I'm like, I feel like I can smell wildflowers from a dark forest, but with a hint of burning, right? Sometimes if he,
Wonderful.
so like I went to the book reading he did last year and I thought, wow, it's like I can really like smell this and I'm transported somewhere. And then I could like see things that I wasn't sure if they were real or not. But I think that's just the allure of a really good book reading, you
I
know?
think you're also very susceptible to smells. You have bought so many houses because you just walk into them and they smell like cookies.
Baked goods. Mm-hmm. I love a baked good. Well, listen,
Indeed.
I don't
think she's wrong for it.
I don't think I'm wrong
And
for it.
also,
Who can blame her?
everything she did, the soundscape and vision that the world that she just illuminated and created and articulated sounds spectacular. And if that is the result of a demon, but sign me up.
But don't take that
Let's
away
get
from
into
don't
that
take that away
world.
from Penny. Penny, you described
Stop.
something beautiful
Okay,
right now. I think
now
that is
you've
your
directed
talent.
the compliment at someone else, I can see through it. And I
Oh,
know that you
okay.
are just trying to pander.
Okay, you know what? It just got really heated in here all of a sudden. I'm gonna just throw us to a quick break where we're gonna look outside and we're gonna look at the clock and we're gonna try and recenter ourselves, okay? So we're just gonna cut to a quick break and we'll be back in a few.